Hi and welcome back. In this second part of the video, get creative and build your own 2D game with Unity, no experience needed, we'll dive deeper into the player, score and game management script and see how they all work together to create a fun and engaging 2D game. In the previous video, we created a simple 2D game in Unity where we control a player and collect different types of objects while avoiding obstacles. We also set up the camera, background, GUI and basic interaction. Now we'll take a closer look at the script that makes our game work and explain how they relate to each other. Let's start with the player script. This script is attached to the player object and controls its movement based on the mouse position. In the start method, we hide the mouse cursor for the better user experience. In the update method, we call the move player to mouse position method, which uses input mouse position and screen to world point to calculate the target position of the player and move it towards it using the move towards method. The player speed variable determines how fast the player moves and can be adjusted in the inspector. Next, we have the onCollision enter 2D method, which is called whenever the player collides with another object that has a collider and the rigid body 2D component. In our game, we have three types of collectibles: good collectible, bad collectible and power-up. Each of them has a unique tag that we use to identify them in the onCollision enter 2D method. If the collided object is good collectible, we call the add score script method, which adds the point to the score displayed on GUI and destroys the collectible object. We also played a sound effect using the audio source component attached to the player object. If the collided object is a bad collectible, we call the reset game method, which reloads the current scene and resets the score to 0, which is the game over condition that we want to avoid. If the collided object is a power-up, we destroy the object and call the destroy all bad collectibles method, which use find game object with tag and for each loop to find all objects with a bad collectible tag and destroy them. This is a power-up that clears the screen of obstacles and gives the player a temporary advantage. Now, let's take a closer look at the score script. This script is attached to a GUI object and controls the display of the score text. In the inspector, we can set the starting score and the next text color. In the add to the score void method, we increment the score by 1 and update the text using the getComponent method to access the text component attached to the same object. We also play a sound effect when the score increased. The GameManager script, which is attached to our user interface object in the scene and controls the timing and spawning of the collectibles. In the inspector, we can set the spawn intervals, area where we can spawn object, amount of changes to background color, and the prefab objects for each type of collectible. In the start method, we start the spawning coroutines. Change background color method determines determine what color, red, green, blue or alpha, will change by variable change RGB every time power-up is spawned. Spawn collectible, spawn bad collectible, spawn power-up, spawns collectibles within the area determined by variables max X and max Y, and spouse power-up plays the sound as well. By the way, every time power-up spawns and coroutine plays, it's applied a bad collectible spawn time changes, which decrease the time on bad collectible spawn time value between bad spawns to make a game harder. This is a script called eliminate, which is attached to a power-up object in Unity. The script contains the public float variable called power-up lifetime, which is set to 2 by default. It also contains a coroutine called power-up rate, which waits for the specified time in a power-up lifetime variable and then calls the eliminate void function. This function destroys the game object it's attached to when called. In this case, it's used to eliminate power-up that have been spawned in the game after the specified lifetime has expired. Destroy script is attached to a game object and is responsible for destroying it after a certain amount of time has passed. The lifetime variable is a public float that determines for how long the game object should live before it gets destroyed. And that's it. These scripts work together to create a simple but functional game that you can customize and expand to your liking. If you found this explanation helpful and want to learn more about creating games in Unity, be sure to check out our other tutorials and resources. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates and content. Happy game making!